The graph in figure 19 illustrates the decay of a radioactive substance over T days. Use the graph to estimate the average decay rate from T5 to T15. All right. So basically, we would like to reinterpret this average decay rate as simply an average rate of change. Okay? And we remember that the average rate of change is simply the slope of a straight line that connects 2 points of a function. So they're telling us the two x values, or the interval basically, right, of this particular average rate of change that we're trying to calculate. So we have to do a little estimation here. So let's find out the point on the graph that correlates with a time of 5 days. So here's 5, right on the x-axis, 5 days. We just have to scroll straight up to that graph and plot a point. Okay? So we realize that the y value that correlates with that point there, if I were to draw a line straight on over, is about 12, right? Milligrams, that is, because those are the units of the y-axis there. So we do have coordinates for now this particular point, right? The x value was 5 and the y value was 12. All right, let's do now the same thing for the next t value, right, which is on the x-axis basically. So the next time value is 15. So scroll up to the graph, plot your point, right? Plot your point, and then to the best of your ability, draw a straight line on over to the side. And it looks like, I mean, you know, is it 6? Is it 6.5? It looks maybe about 6.5-ish. I mean, you might say it's 6. I don't know. What do you want to choose? Let's make it easy. Let's just assume this is about 6. Okay? Again, we're estimating I'm probably a little high at that point anyway, so it's probably about 6. So the x value here was 15, and the corresponding y value was 6. So now we have 2 points. If I'm trying to find the average rate of decay, and I know that that really means the average rate of change, that means I'm finding the slope, right? Because average rate of change is basically slope. So now, if I were to use my slope formula of slope is equal to change in y over change in x, and I expand on that then, so I realize that it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we know that we need now 2 coordinates, meaning 2 points of a function. And we have them, right? Didn't we label them over here? So all I need to do is call my 1s and 2s. Let's call this the x1 and this the y1. And let's call this the x2 and that value the y2. All we have to do is now plug it in. Right, so the slope here will be equal to our y2 value, which we said was 6, minus the y1, which is 12, all divided then by the x2 value of 15, minus then the x1 value of 5. When we now do the math here, we will get a negative 6 in the numerator, and we will get a 10 in the denominator. And we realize that when we reduce this, this becomes then negative 3 over 5. All right? Negative 3 over 5 what? Well, we have units here, so we can state the units. Negative 3, so the numerator value, the units was milligrams, right? mg per, what's the y? Oh, excuse me, what's the x value now? Per days, right? So milligrams per day. So this is the rate of decay. It's negative, right? As well as it should be. What happens if let me just erase this line now so that I don't confuse the line I'm going to draw. Remember, what we just found is the average rate of change. So it's the straight line that connects those 2 points, right? It's the slope of the straight line that connects those 2 points. And notice, you see how it's going down? It's negative. So that's why the negative sign's here. And then the actual quantity of it is 3/5. Right, so it's that is indeed the slope, and that then is indeed the average decay rate, or ADR, I'll call it. All right, so guys, hopefully that helped. If it did, please help us out by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the like button, and maybe even telling your friends. All right, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.